Your motorcycle is overrated. That's right, Brandon. I'm talking to you watching this video in your cubicle at the office trying to hide your slacking from your boss who's patrolling the aisle of the cubicle farm like a prison warden watching over a sea of beige and clicking keyboards. It's okay, dude. We can hang out for a little bit, but then you got to get back to filing those TPS reports. But like I said, your bike is overrated. I'm sorry, but it's just not all that cool or as good as everyone says it is. That is, of course, if it's one of the bikes we've got on the list. If you've got an R7, it's exactly as good as everyone says it is. Hey, did you know that we're giving away an R7? Click the link down below. Anywho, a lot of motorcycles get more credit than they deserve, either when they launch or the motorcycle gets press flown around to some exotic location and gets liquored up, or when a bunch of rabid fans online coalesce into one sentient YouTube comment that stalks videos from dissenting opinions of the hive mind to render vengeful justice riddled with grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. If you're unconvinced, just check the comments section beneath this video. I'm sure there's going to be some absolute gems below from butthurt fanboys who are convinced that their particular bike is the bestest of all time and couldn't possibly be overrated. Now, without further ado, let's kick the hornet's nest a bit today and cover the top 10 most overrated motorcycles. Number 10, all Milwaukee 8 Harley-Davidson. Starting off strong today. Look, I'm going to extend an olive branch of good faith here. The Pan America and the Sportster S are massive steps in the right direction, foregoing the typical HD potato plant. Get it? It's a Harley-specific play on a power plant. I crack myself up. In favor of a liquid-cooled V-twin that makes superbike power and torque. They also have it packaged in a thoroughly modern motorcycle. However, any other bike packing the M8 power plant is just not as good as the hype would have you believe. Let's take a look at the Fat Bob, or the Lowrider S, or the Heritage, or any of them, honestly. They're kind of interchangeable. They've got a 114 cubic inch V-twin putting down 100-ish horsepower and 118 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, that's pretty par for the course, I suppose, in the cruiser world, but the problem is that everyone keeps telling me that they're fast, and they are just not. I'm sorry, Harley people, but there's no way your 670 plus pound motorcycle is going to outrun anything bigger than a 400. But Yammie, I put the 131 big man kit with the Freedom Bazooka exhaust, and now my bike's a real bike. You need to come ride this one. It'll change your mind. No, I don't want to come ride it. First of all, you shouldn't have to pour like $5,000 extra or more into a bike that already costs $20,000 to make it good. That's the worst trade deal ever of all time. Seriously, let's say for a minute that I came and rode your Harley. Yes, you comments are down there in the comments saying that I haven't ridden a real Harley yet. What if I rode it and I didn't like it? I'd make a video and a bunch of no true Scotsmen would show up in the comments saying that it's not a real bike. And that right there is why all Milwaukee 8 Harleys are overrated. They continue to disappoint, and everyone always says the one we rode is the wrong one. Are you an upset Harley boy? Do you need to vent your frustrations and tell me through a long dissertation just how long I am? Well, why not click the link down below and join the Discord where you and I can have a nice enlightened discussion about it. That, or you can commiserate with all the other Harley boys in the Discord who are probably sick of hearing me dog on HD. Better yet, you'll get entered to win an actual motorcycle at the same time. Whew, even up in the YammieNoob.co pitch, I still got time for those sick burns on you. That's right, we've got an Indian FTR 1200 up for grabs, which is much faster and better than basically any other HD out there, save for maybe your Sportster S. Maybe we'll make that comparo. Anyways, click the link down below and find out how to join the Discord and win some bikes at the same time. Now let's get back to these overrated motorcycles. Number 9, the Honda Grom. Now, I had to put this one on the list because it's genuinely a bad motorcycle. Yes, it's cheap. Yes, you can do a bunch of hood rat stuff with your friends, but you have to be honest with yourself for a minute. The Honda Grom kinda sucks. The front brake feel is like a block of cheese squeezing a paper plate. The shift lever is sloppier than a professional eater trying to cram his 20th hot dog into his face hole, and you can find a better suspension on a Walmart brand bicycle. When we had a pair of Groms in our beginner bike giveaway series a while back, it was funny to convert one into a scrambler and the other one into an ADV bike because it was just sort of dumb, and why not, right? It's just a Grom. But when we put all the ADV kit on Buttercup, we seriously kneecapped the top speed 4 or 5 miles an hour. Now, that might not sound like much, but you need to remember the Grom tops out at like 60 miles an hour. They're too slow for anything but city bopping, so unless you're looking for something to replace your bicycle, I'd give the Grom a miss. Come to think of it, for $4,000, you can buy a seriously nice electric bicycle that's probably just as fast around town. Number 8, the Triumph Trident. Shock, horror, a Triumph on a list of overrated motorcycles. Quick, someone send the EMTs around to Yammie's house. There must have been a gas leak. Don't worry, guys, I'm all good. But you know what isn't? The Trident. Look, I get it. It's a beginner bike, and it's meant to be a little tamer for new and returning riders. It's also meant to be a cheap and easy entry point into the brand. Another cool thing is that the triple, and it's the only one in the beginner space, The only problem is that it's so muted and soft, it's lost a lot of the signature Triumph triple character. If you'll allow me to indulge my inner Triumph simp for a minute, when you hop on the throttle of any Triumph triple, there's this honk from the intake and a juicy exhaust sound, all paired with the beautiful fueling and throttle feel that makes for an exquisite riding experience. I'm a 4-time Daytona owner, guys. Cut me some slack here. The Trident doesn't really do any of those things. There's no intake honk, the exhaust is barely audible, and the throttle feels a little weird and wonky. It's their first shot at a beginner bike, so I'm going to cut them some slack here, but if someone tells you the Trident is the best thing since sliced bread, they're either lying to you or they own a Trident and they're lying to themselves. It's motorcycling's equivalent to the mid-price sedan. Number 7, sorry to do this to you, Josh, but it's the Suzuki SV650. Now, put down your pitchfork, Suzuki boys. The SV is still good, but it's not the second coming of motorcycle Jesus that y'all keep hyping it up to be. It's a solid beginner to intermediate bike that works well in a lot of different places with the right mods. However, from stock, it's just a motorcycle. Yeah, it's got a V-twin, so it'll sound a little bit better than other beginner bikes, and while Yamaha went and updated the MT07 for 2021 and Kawasaki made a bike no one asked for in the Z650 RS, Suzuki is just content to let the bike sit completely unchanged year after year. Maybe they're a little bit reticent to update it after SV fans tore old Suzuki a second Gladius-shaped Duke chute, but come on, Suzuki, give us something here. Maybe some adjustable suspension, maybe upside-down forks, anything? Oh, bold new graphics. That's cool, I guess. Never change, Suzuki. Never change. Moving on, number 6 goes to the MT03. Never before in my life have I ridden a motorcycle so badly misnamed. Maybe Yamaha won't officially admit that MT stands for Master of Torque, but as any MT rider knows, they're all super torquey, wheelie happy hooligan machines. When Yamaha said they were making an MT03, I got excited because it was going to be a super cheap alternative to the Duke 390, which is the gold standard for torquey beginner naked bikes south of 650cc's. But then I rode one. People praised how affordable it was, how true to the MT bike styling was, and how it was a perfect beginner bike. Let me translate industry speak for normal people words for you. Affordable here means built on a budget, and even by Yamaha standards, this thing felt cheap. Everything felt plasticky, and it'd like to come off a line in some factory run by drunk robots. True to the MT styling literally just means that they took the plastics off the R3 and replaced them with MT plastics. It's like the meme of Fred unmasking the ghost. MT03 is literally just an R3 with handlebars, and finally, beginner appropriate is code for slow as yo mama climbing a set of stairs. The MT03 is the least torquey naked bike I've ever ridden, and if it wasn't $4,600, I'd be calling it a pretty bad motorcycle. Number 5 today goes to the BMW S1000RR. What can I say about this bike that I haven't already said? It's literally the most boring leader bike that money can buy. Is it fast? Yes, of course. It's making over 200 horsepower. For some reason, that's all that people care about. Being able to flex on your friends with the biggest and baddest leader bike short of a Honda Fireblade. Thanks to superior German engineering, the S1000RR has everything you could possibly want. It's got all the nannies, cruise control, heated grips. It's even got a sensor on board that'll tell you when you've pulled up next to another motorcycle that is not worthy to gaze upon the S1000RR's splendor. But you know what the bike doesn't have? A soul. BMW realized that they could save a little weight by sandblasting the last shred of character off the motorcycle, leaving a soulless hunk of precisely engineered machinery. When the rise of machines happen, S1000RRs will lead the charge to exterminate humanity. Okay, now we're getting to the fun ones. Number 4 is the Honda CBR 500R. This is what happens when you buy a motorcycle simply based on the engine being bigger than all the rest. The best thing I can say about the CBR 500R is that it is a motorcycle. It has an engine that, when injected with fuel and a spark, creates an explosion through which a transmission of final drive turns the rear wheel. Near as I can tell, the only reason people like the CBR is because it's a real beginner bike. It's got the biggest engine of these small displacement bikes. The only problem is that it makes the same power as a Ninja 400. The CBR has a 471cc standard fire-rated P-twin putting down 50 horsepower and 32 foot-pounds of torque. The Ninja 399cc P-twin is putting down 49 and 28. Ha! See, Yammie, the CBR has bigger numbers. Checkmate. Okay, but the CBR weighs 423 pounds and the Ninja weighs 366. It's also more expensive at $6,999 than the Ninja's $4,999. Do not buy a CBR 500R. Don't do it. Number 3, it's every Kawasaki motorcycle with their 650P twin. That's the Versus, the Vulcan, the Ninja, the Z, and the new RS, along with any other permutations, mutations, or abominations that Kawi decides to unleash upon the world like a plague of boring motorcycles. They're all bad and should feel bad. Just buy an MT07 or an R7 or an XSR 700 or a Tenere 700 or the inevitable Yamaha CP2 Cruiser. Kawasaki's proven parallel twin power plant literally has no reason to exist if Thanos was real and could actually snap snap something out of existence, I would offer every single one of those motorcycles to be turned to dust. Every single one of these bikes is the version of Yamaha that you have at home. Everyone keeps telling me that the bike sounds great because it's got this exhaust or that one, but my dude, no matter what you do, it's going to sound like a giant lawnmower, and it is so uninspiring. And they look like a transformer praying mantis. What could be worse? Oh, I got one. The ZX14. What happens when a spec sheet warrior tries to make a Busa? Look, I get it, Cowie Simps. You think that just because your bike makes more power than the Gen 1 Busa or is technically faster in a straight line, that you're riding around on the Busa killer. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have made it my life's work for some reason to make the Hayabusa an immortal meme. No one ever says, yeah, my Mustang is so fast, man, I whooped up on a ZX14. No, they measure everything to the great and mighty Busa. You are forever destined to live in the shadow of something greater no matter what you bring to the table. The Nornir have woven it into the tapestry of fate. You are destined to chase after something you can never be. Just when you think you're getting close to that Busa boy in front of you, you think you might be able to reach out and catch him, he's going to spool up his turbo and leave you wallowing in your own sadness and failure. You had the chance to be a Busa boy, but you had to go and be a spec sheet warrior. But hey, at least the normies will compliment you on your sweet looking Busa. Number 1 in the list of overrated motorcycles is every single Royal Enfield ever. Yes, they're all bad, no matter how much the motorcycle press or Royal Enfield fans out there say otherwise. I'm not buying it. They're slow, they're built cheap, and wouldn't you rather have a Bonneville? Even the Himalayan was designed by a former Ducati designer who couldn't be saved from donkey level mediocrity. It makes like 6 horsepower and 4 potatoes of turnip torque. And no, I'm not going to bother looking it up because that's a waste of my time and yours. I get that American riders are not the target audience here, but if you're going to make a bike and try to sell it in the 650 class, you'd best come correct because I'm looking at some D+ homework right here. Also, the Meteor 350. What in the absolute are you doing? Is it a cruiser? It is a reskinned Bullet? It's the slowest thing this side of a Gixxer 250? Well, maybe you'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get one. Who knows? Fact, the AMC Gremlin was released on April 1st, 1970. AMC advertised it saying, competitors will find there is nothing April Fool-like about the car. And that didn't age well. Goodbye. Now, partner, I gotta tell you, it's real good seeing you here at the end of this here Yammie Noob video. It's me, Cowboy Yam, aka Yosemite Yam, back at it once again. And you click this video right over here. Do me a little solid, okay? You made it to the end of the video. Do me a little favor here. Click this video. Keep watching yourself some of this incredible Yammie Noob content. It's pretty good.